Alright, welcome back to Simple Technical Analysis, where we break charts down with just a few tools and no noise and no stress. Alright, so in today's video we're going to be looking at XRP. In our previous video we took a look at XRP and that's how we marked out these levels. So if you're wondering where these lines came from and the reasons for these lines, you can check out the previous video. I'm going to leave a link somewhere around. And yeah, but moving forward, right, um, these moving forward, these are past price data, and one thing about technical analysis is that we use past price data to predict what's going to happen next. Now these lines, right, they serve as future supports or future resistance zone. So yeah, as you all know, I'm a swing trader, and that is why we're starting with the weekly time frame. Right, so before we jump down to the lower time frame, I'd like to point out something very significant. If you take a look at these areas, right, I know many of us do not look at this part of trading view, but if you take a look at these areas, you would see the yearly performance, the 3 months, 1 month, weekly, and even the 6 months performance of XRP. So yeah, taking a look at the yearly performance, we're up 460%, which is incredible. And on the 6 months performance, we're up 41%. 3 months we're 37%, and on the 1 month we're 6%. And now in the past 1 week we're up 10%, which is also incredible, which is actually more than many stocks or commodities could give you as a return in these amount of time. That's by the way, I digress. I'm going to close this watch list, and now we're going to jump down to the daily time frame. Now on the daily time frame is where we're going to find our patterns, right? As you can see, we have a triangular pattern. There's one thing about history, and that is history always repeats itself, right? So if you take a look at this triangular pattern and you take a look at this one, they're nearly almost identical, but as you can see, what happens when market breaks out of one of these patterns, it keeps on soaring, right? So if you jump down to a lower time frame, you see where that has happened time and time again, and even over here it has happened, right? We have a breakout, we have a retest, and we have a continuation with a bullish momentum, right? Now taking a look at what's happening over here, right, we're on the daily time frame. We might jump down to the lower time frame, to the 4 hour, to confirm that. So yeah, right now it looks like we have broken out, and what we're going to be expecting next after breakout is a simple retest. Alright, so I'm going to jump down to the 4 hour time frame, and yes, it's going to look a bit messy, but bear with me, because down here there's a whole lot of information that is going to help us spot our entry. So in the previous video we did look at these areas, right? We saw a past price information over here, which is a fair value gap, right, which got disrespected, if I may, because it broke out. It didn't really respect it at this point, and we all know the rules of fair value gap, right? So now I believe this fair value gap is going to serve as a support zone to push price higher and give price more momentum. All right, so moving on, we have yeah, now here's the thing. We already have a buy, right? A buy entry. If you look at our previous video, this is where we took the buy from, somewhere around here, right? And then price continued soaring higher, right? And it was mostly because of this fair value gap down here, right? And that was where we found our entry. Now taking a look at what's happening now, I'm seeing another pattern forming right now, and that is this pattern right here. We're looking at a head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. And what comes next after head and shoulders? Obviously a retest to that neckline point, right, before we now see a bullish continuation. Now one thing you should have at the back of your head is that it's not always picture perfect, because I know some of you may be looking and wondering, how is this a head and shoulder? It looks nothing like a head and shoulder. Yes, it may not look like a head and shoulders, but the numbers, the stats don't lie, right? So if you draw it like this, yes, you're going to see a head and shoulders, and this is the neckline from here to here. That's our neckline, and that's what we're going to be banking on, because of course after a breakout of a any pattern, right, we expect a retest. So yes, let's get rid of this now. We already know what we're expecting, right? So yeah, for those who missed the entry, right, maybe wondering, where can I get back in on this trade? Right, now let's do that. If you take your Fibonacci, right, and you draw from the low to the high, what you really want to know is where that 50% is. So this is the 50% retracement, and it aligns precisely with this fair value gap, which is a zone that could turn to support, right? now, which is going to give us momentum. So I'm just going to mark out that 50%, right? And now I'm going to get rid of this Fibonacci. Now another thing is, yes, many people draw their Fibonacci from lows like this to highs like this. Many draw from the recent low to the recent high. So what we're going to do is we're going to try out both of them, right? So we're going to draw from the recent low to the recent high. I'm going to find that 50%, and as you can see, that 50% somewhat aligns with these. That 50% somewhat aligns with these past price data, these lines that I drew. Now let's take a look at where this line is coming from. Now these lines are coming from March on Monday, right? March, Monday, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but it's coming from the past, right? Months ago, right? And now take a look at this one above here. This is also another past price data, and if we take a look at what's happening currently, we zoom in, we can see that yes, price sold immediately after breaking out of this trend line. Price sold, right, and then started hovering above this yellow line right here, right? Now that's quite significant. I don't know about you guys, but I see that as something powerful, right? So that is why I always start by marking out these lines, and I need to find the perfect support and the perfect resistance, in as much as there's no perfect support and there's no perfect resistance. Now when we have a breakout, right, what you'll be expecting is for the market to retest right here on this line before we have a massive buy, right? But now, like I said, it's always picture perfect, so these are places that will be taken into consideration. Maybe we can expect a wick to just close on this place and then start buying. We could also be expecting a wick to tap down into this place. So what you could be expecting is something like this, and that's where you can find your re-entry, right? Now here's how I'm going to position myself for this trade, right? I'm going to set about 3 entries, 3 orders, and all of them with the same stop loss, right? If you have room, if you have enough if you have room to take some losses, because obviously losses are something that we need to anticipate. So if you have room to house some losses, and this is what you're going to be looking at, if you have enough capital to hold some drawbacks, right? Yeah, so that's, by the way, this is going to be 1 entry, right? And what we could be expecting is for price to come down to here and then buy off, right? That's 1 entry, right? Now I'm going to show you guys the second entry. As we can see, it's already been placed here. So now this is also going to be a second entry, right? Stop loss is going to be the same, right? You're risking 1%, you're risking 1% to make 3, so it's a 1 to 3, while the second one is a 1 to 4, right? So now this is for those who missed on the first entry, the first signal call, right? So now I'm just going to make this show on intervals and below. All right, now here's the third scenario, because if this is actually a valid breakout, and remember, because of the yearly, the 6 months, the 3 months, the weekly, the 1 month performance of XRP, and it's all bullish, because of that, yes, it's safe to say that, yeah, okay, this guy could just use this place as support and start buying from here. So what do you want to do? Well, you might want to take the trade from here, right? And if we've confirmed that it's 100%, yeah, we're going to buy from here, which I would do that. I would buy from here, but this is not financial advice. Take that with a grain of salt. This is not financial advice, so have that in mind, right? So yeah, I would want to put my stop loss over here, somewhere below, and I'd be buying from here. So I'm still bagging a 1 to 3, right, if I do not want to miss out, right? But then there's others who can take it from here and take it from here, and so on and so forth. So yes, this is what I'm going to be looking at. I would take a buy from here, and I would still take a buy from here, and I would still take a buy from here. So this is just 3 ways to position yourself for this XRP trade, and I'm sure if you go down to a lower time frame, you're going to see different patterns confirming one thing or the other, right? So back to the daily time frame. This is what it's going to look like. Sorry, back to the 4-hour time frame. This is what it's going to look like, and as you can see, these lines quite significant, and they're helping us to anticipate what's going to happen next, right? So yeah, it is possible as well that, yeah, when price start moving, whatever it does, if it's go down or start moving from here, when price start moving, it's going to definitely give you a second chance at this high over here, right? So maybe you're the person who's like, all right, I'm not sure, or maybe you're the person who missed all these entries, but you came but you were active when price got to this zone, right, you would obviously know what to do next. Wait for any retrace, then buy back in, right? It's endless, and we have endless opportunities on this market. All you have to do is just make a move, right? So as you can see, we have the key support and resistance zone marked out. Thanks to these yellow lines, we know what to expect next, and that's pretty much it, guys, right? That's pretty much it. Because I'm bullish on XRP, I am not giving any bearish scenario right now. So this is just simple technical analysis, right? So guys, you just gotta keep it clean, right? And that's today's simple technical analysis. If you like clear and simple breakdowns like this, make sure to like, subscribe, right, and turn on that post notification to be ahead of the market, because right now if you take these entries, you're ahead of the market. Alright guys, so back to the weekly, and this is where, sorry, back to the daily, and this is where we're going to end our video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.